Hi guys, as promised, I know this has been very long overdue. We're going to do some airbrush designs, and whilst we're doing that I want to show you the fashion style stencil sets. So I'm going to do some designs on each of these per session. Okay, so we are going to start with the fashion style number 1. This is the stencils you get on it. You have various different sizes, flowers, some swirls, leaves, and some full cover ones. I've already put these in my book, so I'll just put that over there. And I'm just going to show you with one stencil sheet what kind of designs you can do. As you can see, I've put them all on here. These are the insides, the negatives as we call them, and I'm going to show you them as well. So we'll start with a very simple design. I'm just going to take these off on this little green one here. So I've put the colour on, I've top coated it, simply because you've got to buff to get the stencils to hold properly, and of course to get your top coat to hold afterwards. So you're always better to top coat it because it just makes it easier for you. If you end up buffing some of the colour out, you have to do it all again. So just one extra step, give it a quick top coat, cure it, and then with a very fine buffer, just give it a slight quick buff. Just gently. It's usually we keep an old buffer for this so you don't scratch the surface too much, because you just want to slightly ruffle it to give the surface something to hold. So remove your dust, and I'm going to start with a very simple negative positive design. So first of all, I'm going to take one of the negatives. I hope you can see this. I'm just going to go for a couple of swirlies, pick them off. This is a sticker book, by the way, and I'm just randomly putting it on. I'll get another one so you can see it properly. And anything like this out of your stencils you can keep, as in the negatives. So I've just put them on there. There we are. So I'm just going to put on my turbo. It might be a bit loud for a second. It'll stop in a minute, promise. Shake your paint because of the pigments. Put just a couple of drops into your gun. Yeah, I've got my cleaning pot here, which will come in handy in a minute for when we're cleaning out. Okay, just move it back over there. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops literally into my gun. Here's my bottle. As you can see, I have always got kitchen roll down. This is really important. I would always test the gun on the kitchen roll first, because in case anything goes wrong, you know, anything stuck in your gun, little bits of dried up paint, etc, etc, you know it's working properly once you've tried it on your kitchen roll. Just gonna focus you down a little bit more. There we are. Okay, so in this case, because I'm spraying white, I'm testing it on my glove, and at the moment it's coming out watery, so I'm just giving it a quick shoot out, and we're all fine. So what you want to do on these negatives, you just want to spray around the sticker very lightly. Okay, so I'll try and do this so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm testing again on my glove, and I'm just lightly spraying around my design. So you've almost only got a shadow, basically. That makes sense. So there's the negatives done. Can you see that? I hope it's focusing okay. So now you take this up, especially on a glittery nail. Just move that away. It just looks really nice, and it gives the design some depth. There we are. Can you see that? There we go. So on top of that now, I'm just going to do very simply a couple of flowers. I wouldn't stick it right on top. I'm going to stick one just here on the side. We're going to stick with white for this one. Just to start you off easy, okay? What's important here is not that the sides of your stencil are flush. Your design needs to be as flush as you can possibly get it, okay? So I'm going to show you as well, even with just white, you can do different shades, yeah? The way airbrush works is you layer. So you're not going to get your coverage straight away, you just keep layering, okay? So I'll do one plain white flower for you in a deep white. So I'm aiming for the middle and just keep brushing around. Of course we've got the negative underneath this, so we want to keep going over until that's covered. When you're spraying, when it's coming out and it's almost instantly dry on your design, then you know you've got it right, okay? You don't want it really, really wet because it'll just splatter. So remember, layer, always layer it, you know, play with your gun a little bit on a piece of paper. You push down for air. So as you can see, that's just air. And to get paint out, look on my glove. You push down and slightly pull back, and there is the paint, and layer and layer and layer and layer, yeah? To finish then, push forward, then let go. Don't let go mid-flow of your paint, because then your paint will get stuck inside the valve here. And when you're going to spray again, when you push down for the air, it will splatter out what was stuck in there. So, you know, that could mess up your design. So, take your little flower back off, and there we've got it. A really nice, pretty design. Just very simple, very quick, very easy. But I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to do another one. But on this one, I'm going to show you how you can almost do like an aquarelle look. Okay? So, the way you do that is just aim for the edges of the flower, okay, and pretty much leave the middle out, because the airbrush spreads a little bit anyway. It will still put some in there, but not so much, not so intense. So I'm testing again on my glove. It's all coming out fine. I'm just going to aim now to the outside of my flower. Almost just the outside petals. And I'm going to leave it like that. Should you have sprayed a little bit too wet or it's a tiny little bit splattered on you, don't worry. Just put some air on it to dry it out. If it hasn't gone underneath your stencil, you're absolutely fine if it doesn't look too messy, because your top coat will cover that. It's quite forgiving that way. Of course, if it's too messy, the best thing to do is just to take it off. There you go. That's more of an aquarelle type flower. So as you can see, a little bit of negative, 2 flowers, perfect design. What I'll do after, I will finish that off with some dots and perhaps some gems, and then I will show you the finished result. Yeah, simple, quick, easy design. Now, one mistake I've made here, you can see on this flower here, on one of the petals, this stencil overlapped a little bit when I sprayed that flower. Because that was still a bit wet, it took a little bit off. So just be careful when you are overlapping, make sure your first design is absolutely dry. Okay, so I'll put that one off to the side for now, and we'll do another positive negative on this extremely glittery one. this is all fashion style number 1. Stencil sheet number 1. We have 21 of them now, I believe. There's a nice vintage one as well. This keeps popping off on me. And they're beautiful because you've got, like I said, so many different designs. You can see them all on there in my group. It is really, really lovely. So on this one we'll do some, let's see what I've got negative. Anything negative? Yes, I have. Maybe. Sorry, that thing is really, really annoying. In fact, we won't do another negative. We'll do the full cover ones. There we go. And again, you can do this as a full, or you can just do it as a light background. That's also very nice. So I'm just going to do like a plain white shadowy background for you so you can see what I'm talking about. And again on that you can layer, so do some a little bit less than the other. So if you start off at the top lightly, do the middle a bit more intense, so go over a bit more. There we go. See how that's all different? Some's more intense than the other, yeah? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that machine keeps buzzing on me. Now then. Even the big stencils you can use, yeah? You could make like a French looking flower, you can have it coming off the side, just one big flower. I'm gonna have mine coming from the bottom, sort of facing up the way, and a little bit on an angle. So although the full stencil isn't on there, it is still going to look very, very nice. Okay. We have a bit of an air leak, that's why that keeps buzzing on us. Okay, so this one, we're going to do a two-tone colour. So, again, if you're using paints that are transparent, you always put a white underneath first. And now my white's splattering a little bit. There we go, it's okay now. If you've got covering colours, of course you can use them straight on without a white, but I do find if you use a white, it's always a bit more intense, yeah? And here obviously we now need to cover that underneath pattern because we don't want to have that shining through. So we are going to go quite white. So it just means because you're covering something, you've got to go over a few times. If you feel like nothing's coming out, just check on your glove or on a black bit of paper. This white, of course, isn't going to work on kitchen roll. So I think I've got pretty good coverage now, so I'm going to swap my guns and hope I find one that's not blocked because I'm not very good at cleaning them out. Well, I am, just I forget, which isn't good. I know this. Okay, and because we're using a blue, just trying to find a nice blue. Shake your colour because we've got a blue kind of coloured tip, I'm going to use a little bit of blue, drop a few drops in, just a few, you know, because you don't need a lot and you're just going to end up wasting half of it. As you can see, I'm checking on my kitchen roll. Yeah, it's coming out nicely. So what I'm going to do now to make this two-tone, I'm just going to aim for the middle. And the aiming is always one of them in my books. There we go. And then you can just let it spread. If you want it to spread wider, just bring your gun up a little bit, because it already does it then that for you. The higher you come up with your gun, the more it will spread. Now then, take this off, and here we are. Beautiful two-tone flower, almost looks airbrushed. Airbrushed? It is airbrushed, sorry. It almost looks one-stroked. That's what I was going to say. Yeah? So because that looks a bit boring, I'm gonna stick another one up here. Just get it the right way around. And I'm just letting it come on. So white first, as before. So my white's playing up a bit because obviously a little bit's dried up on the needle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on my kitchen roll and I'm going to push down and shoot it back. And that should solve the problem. Should it not, open this bit. Just, I don't know if you can see that, but there's tiny little bits of dry paint stuck to my needle. So I'm going to just carefully remove that. You've got to be very careful because you don't want to bend the needle. Okay. Right. Problem solved. So again, I'm going to do that white. Keep going over. It's quite wet, so I'm just going to dry it off a bit. But this time, I'm going to aim the blue on the outside, which you can also do. You can pretty much do what you like, you know, as long as it looks nice. So I'm just going to go around the petals, sort of the top of the petals into the middle. A little bit more there. And then you can see in a second very carefully removing. It just gives it a different effect. Put it this way. There you go. So that is 2 designs we've done now with the same stencil sheet, okay? Yeah, I used the same flower, I did, I know. We're now going to move on to the red tip. I'm just going to give it a buff. This buffer is a new one, so it's actually quite rough, a little bit too rough almost, I would say. Okay, that will do me. Now then, we are going to change colour. Now you all asked me about cleaning your gun. So in between colours is really quite simple. This is my cleaning pot. Yeah, this is your best friend when you're airbrushing. So what you do first, the colour you want rid of, you spray it all out into your cleaning pot. There you go. Just adjust the camera a bit. There we are. Right? So all into the cleaning pot. The cleaning pot has got a little filter in there, which sort of stops the fumes a little bit. Okay, all the colour is out, so all I'm going to use now is water. Flush it through with the water. If you've used a darker colour, you want to flush it through twice. And what you can also do is just get a nice old brush, one what does not lose its bristles, because you don't want to lose your bristles in there, because that's going to clog up your little valve and needle, yeah? Give it a quick clean around, clean your brush out the blue, just spray it all out into your pot. Do another one if you need to. This takes seconds, guys, absolute seconds. It's like I said, it takes a little bit longer on a darker colour, especially on a black, but any others is absolutely fine. So we're moving on to a black now. I've sprayed out all my blue, I've got rid of all my water. So I'm going to move my cleaning pot. I'm going to put in a couple of dribbles of black after I've shaken the colour bottle, and I'm going to test it. There you go, we're now on blue. So I'll just hook that up. Now we're just going to do very simple but pretty design with the same stencil sheet. These clippers are not very clippy, are they? Well, they can be sometimes. Oh, 1 second, guys. It's not playing with me very nicely. There we go, and we are on. It's always nice to not put a design bang smack in the middle of the nail. Have it coming off the side, looks nice, meeting in the middle, but just don't put it right in the middle of the nail, because that looks a bit play schoolish. I used to do that and thought it was great. Okay, so my black's working fine. So I'm just going to again spray my design. If something comes away in between, just push it back down, it's not a drama. So we're going to do again an intense black. Watch this pop up again. Now I'm taking this off. Oh, no, it's plain nice. Good. No, it's not. See? Spoke too soon. Just when the more delicate things, when you pull them off, of course you need to be a little bit careful, because you don't want to rip them. So, there's design number 1. You could almost say you leave it like that now if you wanted to, but I always think could do with a little bit more, so I'm going to do one from the top as well. It's got a little bit more then, and then like I said, you can finish them off with a few dots. Test on your kitchen roll so don't splatter. Bit wet, see it? And we're just going to dry it off and hope it's going to be okay. Test on your kitchen roll. There we are. That was okay. Again, nice simple design. You could now put some dots along there if you wanted to, just to finish it off. I will go through this after as well, but that's it. Yeah. So that's 3 easy and simple designs we've done with one stencil sheet. So I've now got a French as well. Last one. This clippy thing does not want to play with me today. Never mind. times when you're buffing. So I'm not going to faff about too much with colours. There we go. So I'm going to stick with black, and we'll just do, just trying to find it. Another very simple design on a French. Finding the best way to put it. Okay, so I've put it on, it's all nice and flush. Now I'll go for black. Again, with any colour, if the black as well, you can just shade the colours. So by going a bit more intense. Lovely French design. If you wanted a bit more somewhere because you find it a bit boring, I'm just going to use half of this swirl. So I'm going to leave out the bottom bit. Give me a second, it's fighting with me. It's a little bit tricky on these when you want to go to the side. Of course, you're not going to have this problem with your client. Okay, we're there. So as you can see, I've just literally put on the swirly bit, the top swirly bit, and left the rest out. Testing on my Gibson roll. Spraying it out. Carefully take it off. And there's your French design. Beautiful designs, very quick, very simple, all with one stencil sheet. Now then, I'm going to finish them off in a minute for you, but as we're here, I know a lot of you have asked about cleaning your guns out. So we've already gone through with how to clean between colours. So if you want to change your colour,